day at Marion Bear Park chasing Pokemon led to a crime scene for 3 San Diego women Thursday. Police tell us they were deep into the trail just before 3 p.m. when they spotted a body in the bushes. It was badly decomposed and possibly a man.
I froze, stopped in my tracks, turned away from the body, and I had looked at my friend Amanda in the face. I looked my sister in the face, and I said, I think I just found a dead body.
The women called 911.
I looked down and I saw the legs, the bones of a dead body with no feet, no ankles, no shoes, nothing. It had looked like he'd been chewed.
Police closed off the trail with caution tape. The medical examiner took the body and will perform an autopsy to determine how this person died. For detectives, one question they'll try to answer is, did this person die here at the park, or was he or she dead before being dumped here? Investigators still don't know if the person was homeless and living in the park bushes, but at this point, they have no reason to believe this death is connected to the brutal beatings and murders of homeless people around San Diego.
Playing Pokemon Go fell off a bluff in Encinitas. They actually fell some 75 to 100 feet down to the beach below. Officers say they simply got distracted while they were trying to collect a prize. Crews rescued one man with a rope. Those men were not seriously hurt. In Del Mar,
a game that allows you to interact and catch various characters near you.
Oh, so I got one.
As soon as I heard the app came out, I was all over it.
Except last night around 11:30, it was game over for David Wallace.
If you guys don't want to get hurt, give me your phones.
After work, he came with his friend to Lone Oak Park in Antelope to catch more Pokemon, only to be caught off guard and held up by a gunman.
I still feel like it didn't really happen, but I do know it happened.
Wallace says a suspect made off with his car, cash, and phones.
Would you have been there if it wasn't for the app?
Oh, definitely not, no. I'd be at home.
The new app is being linked to various distractions and even crime nationwide. In Missouri, teen robbers allegedly use a feature to bait their victims.
It may not just be as much as them using the location to find the individuals, but as well as the inattention of the persons walking around staring at their phone.
It was 8:45 in the morning and Shayla Wiggins was trying out her new phone game, Pokemon Go. The game gives you the goal of finding different types of Pokemon in your surrounding area. But one thing that was unforeseen was that the game led to something much bigger. Not a Pikachu, but the body of a dead man.
And I went underneath the bridge, and then when I went underneath the bridge, I seen something in the water, and I just tried to see what it like. I just looked a little closer, and I found a person just face down in the water.
Wiggins immediately called authorities, who quickly showed up to the scene. Wiggins told K2 News she tried her best to explain the game to authorities and why she was underneath the bridge.
This is the most I've exercised in a while.
I walked today from Oracle and Grant all the way to like almost Speedway and Silver Bell.
And all this walking is bringing them to new places. Shannon Davis and her sister tell me they are learning more about Tucson.
You find more things about your community, like all the murals, the memorials. They're not something that I've never noticed before.
The game also is bringing strangers together, something Pokemon Go player Karen Pitts has noticed.
It makes the generations talk to each other, and I've seen more people out in the park. I come here quite a bit, and I've seen more people out in the park, you know, doing and enjoying things. And I was in the rose garden, and I kept telling them, you know, don't forget to stop and smell the roses.
However, this game does present safety concerns.
Big precaution I've seen so far is actually people just walking around the park, going into a tree, or even hitting the cactus.
I've seen where people get into an accident because they're, you know, playing Pokemon while they're driving, which is dumber than texting while you're driving.
Despite the concerns, people are happy to get out and, as the game would say, catch 'em all.
Yesterday, it was here that Jeanette was playing the game when she noticed 2 teen boys ordering a younger boy around. She didn't think too much of it at first, but after leaving the park and returning to keep playing, the behavior continued.
I noticed that the little boy was running back and forth in the sun. And at this point, I'm thinking it's just way too hot for this kid to be running.
Being in the triple digits, her concern for the boy grew and things got worse.
I noticed that the little boy was on the ground and one of the older boys was standing over him and yelling at him. At that point, I just called 911.
Jeanette says the teens made the boy, with his legs wobbling, get on his bike, and they all rode off. But by the time they reached the dirt lot across the street, he collapsed, pale and no longer sweating, and the teens took off.
Pretty much horrified. It was a very difficult experience.
Buckeye police says the boy may have had a seizure in the heat.
There is no way that I would have ever been here without this funny little game.
Firefighters arrived and took the boy to a hospital. We checked with police and with firefighters, but they were not able to give us an update on the boy's condition or any information on the teens who were with him at the time.
If you spotted people walking around with their heads in their phone more than usual, you've probably seen people playing the new app, Pokemon Go.
Little Pokemon right there.
Using geolocation, it allows you to capture the Pokemon characters in your own neighborhood. That's what police believe one O'Fallon man was doing when he was the target of thieves early Sunday morning. O'Fallon police say 17-year-old Brett Miller and 18-year-olds Shane Backer and Jameen Warner, as well as a 16-year-old, used the popular virtual reality app to target their victim near Highway K and Feisey Road.
I feel like that's a shame. It's just people taking advantage of a new social media trend.
Police believe the thieves might have used a lure to draw the victim to a location. They robbed him at gunpoint of money and his phone.
Does it make you a little nervous playing?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. I mean, you don't want to endanger yourself over just a silly game like that.
Players say after hearing of the robbery, they're planning to be more aware of their surroundings.
Where I'm going is where people are a lot of people, and where is not just very lights on, and
Taking precautions.
yeah, need to be cautious.
Take a look at these two Pokemon players now facing charges. Police say they jumped the fence at Toledo Zoo in Ohio to play Pokemon Go. 25, 26-year-olds just couldn't wait until the park opened, apparently.
Hey, I got a crazy idea. Let's hop the fence. It wasn't the most responsible thing, but hey, gotta catch them all.
Punishment for criminal trespassing could mean 30 to 180 days in jail. And Laura Bushgard.
Fall River police tell me this new game is actually helping police connect with the community. They say right now that connection is more important than ever. Fall River police officer Jonathan Estrella was on patrol Sunday when he noticed a group of people on their phones. He could tell right away they were playing Pokemon Go.
Got him.
The virtual scavenger hunt game that's gone viral in less than a week. Officer Estrella decided to join them.
They're actually impressed that a police officer would even know what it is.
The moment was captured on camera and posted to Twitter. It's been retweeted more than 1,000 times.
Things like this kind of bridge a gap that's there between the police and the community. They were able to talk about a common subject, and it kind of just broke all barriers between them.
Detective Nelson Souza handles most of the department's social media posts. He says Officer Estrella didn't even realize the photos had been snapped.
I think it's important right now that there is more community police involvement with each other and communication, so that way some of the fears and misconceptions could be lessened.
Police say if you are going to play Pokemon Go, use common sense. Don't trespass on private property, don't walk out into traffic, and don't go searching for characters late at night in unlit or unsafe areas.
She was hit by a car, suffered only minor injuries, but this teenager learned a valuable lesson about playing Pokemon Go.
I was like, that damn game, I shouldn't have let her play it.
Tracy Nolan shares her anger over Pokemon Go. This is her 15-year-old daughter, Autumn Deisenroth, recovering from injuries after she was hit by a car. The teenager says Pokemon Go took her across a busy intersection at Ross Street and East 9th Avenue in Tarentum. She made it across the street safely the first time as she captured Pokemon. Deisenroth was hit on the way back across the street after playing the game.
It took me to the museum and I got it, and then I walked back to the highway. I put the phone down on my side.
Nolan blames the game for putting her daughter in an area she wouldn't normally visit.
Kids don't just cross a highway. You know, they're not going to walk across the highway for no reason. This thing had her walking across a highway to find a Pokemon. When she called and said that she was hit by a car, I blamed the game because she would not have been out of my house. My daughter is a hermit.
And Deiseroth blames the game too.
To where, like, how it is set up, to where we have to cross roads to go get it, on that part, yeah, I do blame it.
Now, state police, they're also sending out a warning to people playing Pokemon Go, saying that the game can cause injuries. That warning also goes out to non-users who drive, to be on the lookout for people not paying attention while playing the game.